In the mid-19th century, the United States faced a dramatic division that culminated in the Civil War, a conflict that tested the endurance of a nation built on principles of liberty and unity. The seeds of this division were sown not only in the political arena, but also through economic disparities and social rifts that widened the chasm between the North and the South. To understand the political landscape of that era, we must revisit the debates surrounding states' rights versus federal authority. The Southern states championed the idea that each state should have the sovereign right to govern itself, especially on contentious issues like slavery. Meanwhile, the Northern states, increasingly influenced by a growing sentiment against slavery, believed in a strong federal government capable of unifying the nation under a single stance on critical issues. The economic divide was perhaps even more glaring. The North was rapidly industrializing, transforming itself into a hub of manufacturing and commerce. This shift brought about a burgeoning middle class and an economy less reliant on manual labor. Conversely, the economy of the South remained overwhelmingly agrarian, heavily dependent on the production of cash crops like cotton and tobacco. This reliance necessitated a large labor force, primarily composed of enslaved Africans. Thus, the debate over slavery was not just a moral argument, but also an economic necessity for the Southern way of life. Socially, these economic and political differences fueled a burgeoning sectionalism. The North and the South developed distinct cultural identities, with different values, norms, and ways of life. Literature, religion, and education systems in both regions began to reflect these diverging perspectives. For instance, while abolitionist sentiments gained ground in the North, Southern society largely clung to a system that justified and perpetuated slavery. Politically, these factors intensified disputes over the balance of power between free and slave states. Each new state admitted to the Union threatened to tip the delicate balance in Congress, leading to compromises such as the Missouri Compromise and the Compromise of 1850. Yet these were mere stopgaps for a conflict simmering beneath the surface. The election of Abraham Lincoln in 1860 was a tipping point. His victory, viewed as a threat to the institution of slavery, prompted Southern states to secede, setting the stage for war. Lincoln's stance emphasized the preservation of the Union, but his underlying opposition to the spread of slavery made secession an irresistible choice for many Southern leaders. As tensions reached a boiling point, these intertwined political, economic, and social factors propelled the nation toward inevitable conflict. The Civil War erupted not just as a struggle over state sovereignty or the abolition of slavery, but as a manifestation of deep-seated sectionalism that had festered for decades. In concluding, it is clear that the Civil War was not solely about singular issues, but rather the culmination of divergent paths taken by two regions of the same nation. The consequences of these divides were devastating but ultimately transformative, leading to a redefinition of what it meant to be united under one flag. Understanding the complex interplay of these factors offers a profound insight into the challenges and resilience of the United States, a nation continuously striving to reconcile its diverse identities.